I welcome you to today's video. Today, I'll be taking a break from our discussion on infidelity. I remember that today's video was supposed to be on female infidelity, that is causes of female infidelity. But the break is always discussed. Okay, I'm taking a break because I'm not a woman and I have to gather the views of women on the causes of female infidelity. They helped me to do that. As talking, I received some views of some female views on the reason infidelity occur among women. While waiting for the rest of the response, as soon as I have enough response, I'm going to make the video on causes of female infidelity. It's not going to be my views that I'll be expressed. I'm going to be expressing the views of the women so that the men out there can understand the women better. Today we're talking about a very common medical condition of hypertension, high blood pressure. Last week I met one of my friends and he was sick, and he told me that he was diagnosed with high blood pressure in the hospital. I remember that a few years ago, one of my friends too was diagnosed with similar disease, and people I know have come down with high blood pressure, and one of them is late. Today, I want to talk about the disease for one reason, because it's totally preventable. And as you know, as in many other things, the cheapest the cheapest measure against any disease is prevention, and that cure is always expensive. So it will be in the interest of everybody to learn to prevent high blood pressure. Also because high blood pressure is more of a lifestyle disease. Okay, for example, the friend I mentioned that I met last week, I had the opportunity of staying with him for some time. I remember that during our time together, anytime you cooked, the food always appear a little bit salty. There's usually extra bit of salt in the cooking, and that anytime anytime it was my turn to cook, he didn't like it because the food won't be won't be to his taste. I mean, the salt added to the food will be salted to his taste, and that he likes to do the cooking because of the salt. And again, he enjoys adding quite a large number of seasoning, Maggi to the sauce anytime he make a sauce. And I asked him why. He said so that it could be sweet. The other friend I mentioned that also came down with high blood pressure used to do some funny things. I remember that years ago he would mix Coke and smooth together and be drinking it. And then he told me he used to take about 3 bottles of Coke per day. So sometimes he would offer me drinks. I said no. I normally respond no, that I didn't want the drink. But now he runs away from any form of soft drinks. Now he watches what he eats. He's afraid of salt. He's afraid of Maggi. He's practically he just try to manage his blood pressure. He's now conscious of his health. Now, also remember that my mom, anytime she cooks, the food seems to have extra bit of salt. And I will complain that, oh, the food is salty, but she will say, oh, my grandfather used to eat a lot of salt, and he died and old man. Nothing happened to him. Presently, my mom has reduced the quantity of salt she takes. Now, let's look at what is high blood pressure. Well, for those that took biology in secondary school, know that the blood in the arteries have higher pressure than those of the in the veins. So the pressure of the blood in the arteries is caused by two things: by the pumping action of the ventricles and the resistance of the walls of the arteries. So what I'm just trying to say is that when the heart pumps out blood with force, the arteries, the blood will rush against the arteries and some of the blood will bounce back. These two actions, forward and backward movement, result in pressure, in blood pressure, the long-term pressure of the blood. How does high blood pressure develop? When the space, the lumen, the diameter of the arteries becomes narrow, which means that the space available to the blood to pass through is smaller, and you have the heart still pump the normal volume of blood. This large volume of blood may want to squeeze through this narrow hole, and most of the volume will be resisted, leading to a greater pressure on the walls of the artery. So the blood pressure, high blood pressure, is caused by basically narrowness of the lumen, of the diameter of the arteries. Why did I say is preventable? A healthy lifestyle will save us high blood pressure. For example, it's okay if you reduce the number, the quantity, the amount of salt you add to your food. Let your food be a little less salted. For some time since secondary school, and the undergraduate days, I undersalt my food deliberately. That was because I read about the negative impact of excess salt on the body. So it became my habit. Also, exercising, regular physical exercise. Sometimes when you talk to people, to my friends, that okay, you need to do exercise every day. So, but I walk every day, I trek every day. That is enough exercise. I go to work, that is exercise on its own. That may not be enough. Going to work may not be enough exercise. Doing simple exercise like push-up regularly, running on the spot at home can go a long way. Push-up has various, it has a lot of variation. You can push up against the wall. If you find lying on the ground too inconvenient for you, you could do some sit-up as well. You can employ yoga as part of your exercise arsenal. And you do not need a lot of minutes to do it every day. Well, I spent about 10 minutes, 15 minutes exercising every day. This has been my routine since the undergraduate days. Every morning I do it. It's become part of me. And I reap the benefit in addition to eating healthy. So if you will do this, it's going to save you a visit to the doctor, an unwanted visit. One thing we need to know again to put in mind while talking about hypertension is that hypertension is a disease that develops over many years. Just because you had excess salt or because you had a little extra drink, one extra bottle of drink today, doesn't mean you come down with hypertension. It is over time. The result is cumulative. So if someone is diagnosed with high blood pressure right now, it means that the person has been developing it gradually. That is the space in the artery, the diameter of the artery, has been reducing in size over time. And now the size are reduced so much that the blood finds it difficult to flow. And the person is not diagnosed. So if we are also going to reverse it, it's not going to be suddenly. It's going to be gradual. So, the treatment of hypertension may involve both drug and a change of lifestyle. But my emphasis is on a change of lifestyle. A healthy lifestyle will help to put hypertension at bay. You may not really think, you may not worry, but if you are eating bad, if you have some practices that are injurious to the body, you will still come down with high blood pressure. Okay, now I check out WebMD, and some definition of blood pressure was given. So let's just go over them. We have normal blood pressure. The normal blood pressure is blood that is less than 120/80. Normally, we have two readings for blood pressure. The value on top, as I said at the beginning of the recording, is a systolic, which means the pressure of the blood when the heart contracts to pump out blood. So if the systolic is above 120 and the diastolic, which is the value below, is below 80, that value is taken to be normal, or it's just 120/80. They have the second classification, elevated blood pressure. Now the blood pressure is taken to be elevated if the systolic, that is the value above, is between 120 to 129, and the diastolic, that is the value below, is less than 80. Elevated high blood pressure is usually not treated with medication. What doctor prescribe is a change of lifestyle like exercising, stop smoking, stop drinking, sleep adequately, reduce stress, go on vacation. Such measures usually return blood back to normal. The third class is stage 1 high blood pressure. Stage 1 high blood pressure is taken to be in the range of 130 to 139. That is when the systolic blood pressure is between 130 and 139. And the diastolic blood pressure, the value below, is between 80 to 89. This value is at this time, the person just started developing high blood pressure, and it could be dealt with if diagnosed early. Stage 2 is taken to be 140 and above. That is when the systolic blood pressure, the value above, is either 140 or above 140. And diastolic blood pressure is 90 and above, or 90 and above. This value signals a worsening of the situation. And the last classification is a hypertension crisis. An individual is said to be experiencing or to be an hypertension crisis if the systolic blood pressure is greater than 180. That is, the value above is above 180, and the value below is greater than 120. The person may experience symptoms such as a nosebleed, severe headache, blood in urine, heart attack. So it requires urgent medical attention. Generally, what are the causes of hypertension beside the ones I mentioned? Well, I will just go over it as listed, then explain a few of them. We have smoking. Smoking causes atherosclerosis, which is the hardening of the blood vessels. Especially the arteries, the hardening of the artery. Lack of physical activities, being overweight, that is obesity, being big around the waistline, too much salt in diet, too much alcohol intake, stress, older age, genetics, family history, chronic disease, adrenal and thyroid disorder, sleep apnea. Wow, someone asked me, is hypertension, is it hereditary? Yes, primary hypertension is hereditary. If in your family people are coming down with hypertension, you have history of high blood pressure in your family, that is not a certainty that you are going to have it if you live a healthy lifestyle. What the history tells you is that you are at risk if you do not live a healthy lifestyle. So if your family has an history, it is an early time warning to adopt a healthy lifestyle. The money spent on high blood pressure will well go to viable economic activities. The time spent recuperating in bed is also a time lost. I encourage you to adopt a healthy lifestyle. Okay, let me share with you some of the things I do personally. There are certain natural foods that are good for the blood. One of them is ginger. Another is onion. Anytime you are eating, let's say rice, you can dice raw onion and mix it with your food. Another is scent leaf. Scent leaf is another that can be sliced and put on your food. Vitamins like vitamin C and the rest of the vitamins are essential for adequate management of metabolic activities. Eating healthy. Do not be a meat monger. Some cannot resist the temptation to eat. They eat meat, they eat suya, they eat kilichi, barbecue. They must just eat meat. Eating too much meat will result in obesity. You may replace part of the meat you eat with fish. Fish is really a healthy diet. Now, when we talk about other things I do personally, I told you is that I do exercise. I take salt moderately. I sleep when I need to. Remember that your body has no spare part. Maybe somebody could donate a kidney. Someone that loves you could donate a kidney to you. What about your heart? If your heart should pack up, and most time people have undiagnosed high blood pressure, and they are the ones that suffer unexpected heart attack. So if you are going to live for 20 years, okay, you're going to live for 100 years or 90 years, you have one body, you have a car to drive, and that car is your body. That car, you cannot buy the latest, you can buy the latest Camry, but you cannot buy the latest body for yourself. So please take care of your body. Eat healthy. Adopt a healthy lifestyle. Teach others to do the same thing. See you in the next video. If you like the video, share it with your friends. And I hope by the next time we'll be discussing female infidelity. Catch you.